Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a very spicy Willpower Cup team that got a lot more wins than it ever should have. Now, the team consists of Poison Jab, Galarian Slowbro on the lead, Zweilous as the safe switch, and Shadow Tyranitar as the closer. This is definitely not a team I would recommend using because it is triple weak to XL Pawniard, so if you see one, you basically get swept on the spot. But despite that fact, I was still able to get some clutch wins. So without further ado, let's up into the matches and check the team out in action in the Willpower Cup. Hopping to the first match, picking up a pretty decent lead Galarian Slowbro into Medicham. Considering I have two dark types in the back, I am very happy to catch the Medicham on the lead. I do tank any one move here, so I'm going to let it go. They go for the Psychic, and that does some pretty significant neutral damage. Now I am going to be firing off the Sludge Bomb here. Sludge Bomb does get shielded by the Medicham, and I'm going to continue to farm up, and I'm going to go for the Psychic. Psychic does do slightly more damage when both are neutral, so I'm hoping the Psychic will KO. Psychic, barely not enough to KO, and Medicham is able to reach a last second move. I'm just going to let the Slowbro go, because I can farm down with Zweilous. And now Zweilous does have a very small energy lead for whatever they have in the back. My opponent is going to bring in Hisuian Qwilfish, and Hisuian Qwilfish, if it's running its standard moveset, is walled by Zweilous. So I'm thinking they're probably running Ice Beam if they're bringing it in. So you know what? I am definitely going to be committing a shield here, and it is the Ice Beam, so I'm very happy that I did. In the back, they have Shadow Drapion, and it is now Shadow Tyranitar time. Aqua Tail hits for super effective damage, but it's not enough to KO, and Shadow Tyranitar can just smack through the rest of this team. Aqua Tail gets shielded, Tyranitar able to farm down, and that is a good game. Awesome lead in the next match, Galarian Slowbro into Charm Wobbuffet. Galarian Slowbro absolutely dominates this matchup. Wobbuffet is going to stay in, bank some energy, and then save switch into Umbreon. And I have an incredible response available in Shadow Tyranitar. Tyranitar fully walls Umbreon, so there's no move that Umbreon can throw here that is anything other than resisted. I'm able to tank two foul plays no problem, and then I am going to overfarm somewhat and then go for the Stone Edge. This Stone Edge will do a massive amount of damage, decision time for my opponent, and they commit the shield. They're trying to make a play for switch, so it's definitely possible that they could have a good answer to Slowbro in the back. And if that's the case, I definitely want to keep switch. So I'm going to farm up and then fire off the Crunch. It is resisted, but Tyranitar hits quite hard, so I'm able to take them out. Back in comes Wobbuffet. I'm going to bring in the Galarian Slowbro. In the back, they have Mandibuzz, and I'm very happy that I kept switch, because now I get the Mandibuzz aligned against my Zweilous. They're going to fire off an Aerial Ace. That does some solid chip damage, but these Dragon Breaths are adding up quite a bit as well. I'm going to be firing off the Body Slam. Body Slam is able to get the Mandibuzz into the yellow, and I'm firing off Body Slam number 2. I'm still not in a range where an Aerial Ace is going to be enough to KO, so I don't have to commit my final shield here. I'm perfectly fine with letting this go. Aerial Ace, not going to be enough to KO. Mandibuzz, it's a simultaneous KO, and back in comes the Wobbuffet, and it's still stuck against the Slowbro. Sludge Bomb lands. Wobbuffet is just so tanky, but they just can't do nearly enough damage here. These charms are resisted, and I'm just able to spam out Sludge Bomb after Sludge Bomb. Wobbuffet is going for a move. I don't have to shield it. They go for a charge move. It's a Mirror Coat. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. The good leads continue in the next match, Galarian Slowbro into Charm Shadow Gallade. Opponent stays in for a little bit, they're going to save switch into their own Zweilous, and honestly, I don't have a great response here. I'm going to stay in with Slowbro, fire off the Sludge Bomb, and my opponent commits the shield, and now I'm going to bring in my own Zweilous. I am hoping that I'm going to be able to shield once and farm down before they reach a second move. I am going to try for it, and I'm not able to do so. Zweilous able to hang on and get to a second Body Slam, so I am going to be double shielding here since I do have quite a bit of energy. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to 2 Body Slams, but I'm still kind of hoping. I fire off the Body Slam. I definitely should have just gone for the Dark Pulse here, because there is no way I am surviving the second charm. They take me out. I bring in Slowbro. It's a Mandibuzz in the back. I get to bank all of this energy and then bring in the Shadow Tyranitar. And Shadow Tyranitar absolutely crushes Mandibuzz. There's just nothing they can do here. You know what? I'm just gonna fully commit to the farm down, and let's see if a crunch is gonna KO the Shadow Gallade. Opponent sending back in Gallade into the loaded Tyranitar. Is a crunch gonna be enough to KO? Yes, it is! And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a terrible lead, Galarian Slowbro into Shadow Drapion. I save switch into Zweilous, and unfortunately I am hard punished with a Wobbuffet. Now, Charm Wobbuffet is absolutely tearing through Zweilous. I will be able to reach one Dark Pulse, but Wobbuffet is so tanky that it's going to be able to survive the Dark Pulse and the subsequent Body Slam as well, so I'm not even able to force a shield. Wobbuffet fully able to farm down, and I'm going to bring in the Galarian Slowbro and basically just commit to the farm down. I'm not going to be shielding a thing here. They go for the Mirror Coat, and then here, I'm not sure if they intentionally let themselves get farmed down or if it was a little bit of lag. Either way, didn't end up missing out on a ton of damage since it was resisted charms. Back in comes Drapion. I'm going for the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb gets the shield. In comes Shadow Tyranitar. My opponent is going to bring in their final Pokemon, which is Galarian Rapidash. These Fairy Winds are hitting for super effective damage, but the nice thing is that these Smackdowns are absolutely shredding. I'm going to fire off the Crunch. This will be getting the final shield because my opponent is going to want to keep this Rapidash alive if at all possible. I'm definitely in a tough spot here. I will commit the shield. It's the play rough and commit to the farm down. In comes Drapion. Drapion is going to be firing off a move. I am hoping that I am going to be able to reach a move with my Slowbro. Slowbro gets to the move, but I click on the Sludge Bomb. Psychic does more. Please tell me this KOs. Sludge Bomb barely does not KO, and that mistake cost me the game. Crunch takes out the Slowbro, and we lose a Heartbreaker. Tough lead in the next match, Galarian Slowbro into Mandibuzz. Immediate save switch into Zweilous, and I'm able to bait out the Medicham. This is definitely a bad matchup for Zweilous, but at the very least, I get to bait out the counter user, and that should hopefully free up Tyranitar in the endgame. They're going to fire off a charge move before I'm able to get to my next Body Slam. My opponent is going to go for the Ice Punch, and that is going to be able to take me out. I'm going to bring back in Slowbro and go for an incredibly aggressive farm down. I'm not shielding whatever they throw here. They go for the Ice Punch, and because they went for the Ice Punch, they're actually going to be able to reach a third Ice Punch just before I'm able to take them out. Either way, I'm letting this go, and I'm putting my full faith into Shadow Tyranitar. In the back, they have a Shadow Drapion, and even if they have Aqua Tail, I think Tyranitar should be able to smack down here. Aqua Tail gets the shield. They're at Aqua Tail number 2. The question is, can the next 3 Smackdowns KO? 1, 2, 3. We get the farm down, and that should secure the win. Back in comes Mandibuzz, and I can just start firing off crunches at this moment to go for debuffs, and I do get a debuff as well. I'm going to fire off another crunch. They are going to commit the final shield, and I just continue to farm. I tried to go for a bit of a combo play there. I accidentally caught the foul play, which makes it a lot scarier, but thankfully, T-Tar is still going to be able to get to the crunch. Crunch will be taking care of the Mandibuzz, and despite the terrible lead and terrible swap, we are able to clutch the win. Hopping into the next match, picking up a Nightmare lead, Galarian Slowbro into Lucario. I mentioned at the start, this team is triple weak to Lucario and Pawniard. So if I see either one, I'm in a very terrible spot. I'm going for the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb does get the shield. At this point, I think I just have to try and call a bait as my only win con. I let it go. It's the Shadow Ball, and I concede the match. Picking up a great lead in the next match, Galarian Slowbro into Buzzwole. Very happy to catch the counter user on the lead, and even better, they are staying in. These poison jabs add up quite a bit, but I do get outpaced. This is going to be a neutral lunge. I'm going to let this through. Opponent is going to save switch into a Alolan Grimer, and I respond with my Shadow Tyranitar. Tyranitar does resist everything in Grimer's moveset. Grimer fires off the Sludge Bomb. That does do quite a lot of damage. Shadow T-Tar is very glassy, but I'm able to survive it, get to the crunch, and a crunch will just about KO. And thankfully, my Tyranitar is low enough where the Buzzwole is only going to get one counter of farm when they bring it back in. Buzzwole is able to take me out, but my Slowbro has energy, and they have to shield this Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is going to get the shield. Buzzwole continuing to farm. They want to try and get that shield back, and they're going to be able to do so. I do need to commit the shield here on the lunge. We'll have to see. In the back, they have Drapion. I'm really hoping that this is an Aqua Tail Crunch Drapion, so I'm going to let it go. But they are running Sludge Bomb, and that does quite a lot of damage. I continue to farm up, and I'm going to fire off the Body Slam. This Body Slam is not going to be enough to KO, but it will get the Drapion low. Drapion is going to be firing off another charge move here. Decision time. I'm going to let it go. It's just a crunch, and they're able to take me out. I'm going for the farm down with Slowbro, but they live on 1 HP, and they reach a last second move. This is going to be close. Can I double up on charge moves? In comes the Buzzwole. We farm down and clutch a very close win. Neutral lead in the next match, Galarian Slowbro into Shadow Latios. Opponent save switches into Pawniard, and we concede the match. Hopping into the next match, leading Galarian Slowbro into another Buzzwole. Again, very happy to catch this on the lead. They save switch into a Shadow Drapion, and I'm fully expecting that this is a similar team to last time, so probably going to be Buzzwole Double Dark Poison. And this Drapion is running Crunch instead of Aqua Tail, which is definitely better for me. I'm going to shield once, let one through, farm all the way down, and I'm going to be able to get this shield back on the Buzzwole with my Stone Edge, because Stone Edge does hit for neutral here. They bring in the Buzzwole, I'm going for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge does get the shield. Buzzwole is able to farm down. I'm going to bring in Slowbro. They are going to be able to outpace me, but as we've seen, this lunge is not going to be enough to KO. So I'm going to let that through. Just continue to farm. They go for a catch, and they have the Alolan Grimer in the back. And these Dragon Breaths are shredding through the Grimer. I fire off the Body Slam. Body Slam, able to land. Grimer, over farming, and at this point, they're low enough where I don't have to shield. So I'm going to let this go. It's just a crunch bait. I'm able to withstand it, farm down, and secure the win. Hopping into the final match, leading Galarian Slowbro into Mandibuzz. Terrible lead, immediate save switch into Zweilous, and Zweilous will be punished with the Medicham. You hate to see it. This is actually a power-up punch Medicham as well, so my Slowbro is going to have to deal with a boosted Psychic after they counter down my Zweilous. I'm going to fire off the first Body Slam. Body Slam actually does get shielded, so I am perfectly happy with that, as I am at the very least able to get shield advantage here. Second Body Slam lands, and I'm going to bring in the Slowbro. I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to shield the Psychic and then fully commit to the farm down. But my opponent baits me with a power-up bunch. I definitely cannot farm down, so I'm forced to just fire off a Sludge Bomb to take them out. And then hope that Shadow Tyranitar can close. In comes the Mandibuzz. I bring in Tyranitar, and it's Umbreon in the back. Oh my goodness, I actually have a chance here. I know that I tanked 2 moves from Umbreon. If I can just get out of this matchup with a Stone Edge loaded, I should be in a good spot. I'm going straight for the Stone Edge right off the bat, and my opponent does burn their final shield. Definitely wish I baited there, but at the very least, I should still be in an okay spot here. But then my opponent goes for a Last Resort. Last Resort does do slightly more, and now my HP is getting incredibly low. I'm worried about getting snarled down, so I'm going to farm up here. I am not able to take them out. I go for the snipe with Slowbro, but they're able to reach a last second move. Foul play is going to get me low. They bring in the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is going to fire off a charge move. I have a Stone Edge loaded on the Shadow Tyranitar. Is this going to be enough? In comes the Shadow Tyranitar, going for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge, barely not enough to KO, and we lose a heartbreaking game. All in all, I was expecting this team to do absolutely terribly. It is triple weak to XL Pawniard, which in my view is the best Pokemon in the meta, and I was pleasantly surprised by the fact that I got as many wins as I did. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is definitely not a team I would recommend for climbing, because if you see a Lucario or an XL Pawniard, you just get absolutely crushed. But I just had a ton of fun with these battles, and at the end of the day, that is something that I really strive for in Go Battle League. It's just the ability to have fun when I'm playing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.